Hey guys, Key. I'm back with another video, and today we are going to be doing a discussion. Now, this is my disclaimer. I am a Roman Reigns stan, 100%, and I appreciate everything he's done for the business, everything the Bloodline story has done for the business. But I think it's time to have a discussion because not only is this something that has been brought to my attention, but it was also just something I've been thinking and have touched on a little bit in my previous videos. But the WWE Championship length, is Roman Reigns the cause going forward of this long reign, long title reigns for main belts? And did he damage the way these titles are going through in the way they storytell? Now, storytelling wise, it's done a lot for the business. So I ain't gonna be mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all because I actually enjoy it. And I think it's what highlights the matches in the ring. It makes you storytelling is such a vital part of wrestling. You cannot ever take that as a terrible thing. Now, I do think because of the fact that a lot of the things in the bloodline story cannot be replicated. A lot of things in the bloodline story and how things went, it was the right time and the right place as well. And you're not gonna get that everywhere. You're not gonna have the same type of emotion, nor are you gonna have the same type of characters that can really move in a long term storyline such as the bloodline. But now, because it's such a high ticket, it is such a vital part of how the WWE is telling their story at the moment. Of course, there's going to be a lot of other stories that they're going to try to make long term and close to what the bloodline is doing because they can't do this forever. And they want to continually get people the same way the bloodline story got people. But I think because of the fact that Roman Reigns had creative control and decided to make this a storyline as long as he wanted, as long as it made sense. It messed up the way that they're going to plan how to do stories because now, of course, you're going to want to have your next bloodline story. Of course, you're going to want to have another storyline that was as long and made as much money. So now, whenever something's going on, like a great example of this is what's going on with the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day storyline and the Liv and Rhea thing, that could have been wrapped up a lot sooner. I know a lot of you guys think that it got drawn out, and for me, I really do not think that the Finn Balor and Damian Priest thing is over. I just don't think that the Judgment Day and this beef with Damian Priest is over. Which, if Finn is going to continue to get beat up, what's the point of doing it? What is the point of doing it? The wanting to have a long storyline just for the heck of it, just because you want to catch that lightning in a bottle, it's not going to work, and it cannot work for everything. Sometimes you have to know when to stop it. You have to know when is a good time to cut it off before it turns long-winded, before it turns into a mess like the Rhea and Liv situation was. That's how it's like. Then everybody's going to purposely nitpick, purposely look at every single thing that each person is doing in hopes of causing chaos. And then now it's the fans going against each other for something that's so stupid. Like, not everything is going to be the bloodline story, and not everyone can be like everybody involved in that story. Now, that's not me saying that I'm tired of the bloodline story, nor am I tired of long-term storytelling, because I like it. You just got to do it right. And you have to know when to cut it at the sweet spot. My thing with the bloodline is I know that they're going to know when to cut it. They're going to know when is the right time to transform it and evolve it. And with what happened, that pivot that happened at WrestleMania, they knew they had to evolve the storyline, or they had to shift things around in the storyline, and they accepted it. I think that it's harder for you to accept certain things if you already put like your eggs in the basket. Because I feel as though when it came to the Liv Morgan and Rhea situation, that whole long-winded thing that they was doing with the Judgment Day, they didn't really want to accept that they had to either evolve it or stop it, because it's making so much money, it's bringing so much, it's doing so much traffic. You kind of don't want to leave it because you don't have anything else on the same level for the women. You just don't. And it's not because of them, it's because there's just not enough effort into that division in general. And not everything needs to be drawn out. Like, they did such a great job with the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk storyline. That right there is a version of, I'm okay with long-term storytelling. You just have to do it right and know when to cut it at a sweet spot. Because now we just know that there's still animosity between Punk and Drew, but they're gonna do other things. They're gonna try to do other things, and that's not always gonna be the same thing. I don't see that always being the same case when you want to make such a impact that the Bloodline storyline made. And I think that they're trying to do something like that just a little bit when it comes to this Jade thing, because like, Jade been out for a while. If she is not legitimately injured, they gotta speed things up. If she is actually injured, I understand it and I'm fine with it. But if she is not injured and they're just trying to wait, you're gonna mess things up. You're gonna mess things up like they messed things up with Chad and Otis. I will be a firm believer in the fact that that storyline got drawn out too long, and then they had the Wyatt's debut. So then now it's not as hot anymore. It's sizzled, and the only one that's going to be able to benefit from this is Chad Gable. There's nothing wrong with Chad Gable benefiting from the storyline, but beforehand, both parties involved would have elevated. Both of them would have elevated, and something, they would have evolved into something different. Except now Chad is kind of in a weird limbo, and so is Alpha Academy. Like, what is the plan? What is the plan for them? What is the plan for Otis? How are we going to do them going forward instead of just having them on one-off matches or go into the Rumble or get released? You know, those are things that has to be thought of. And next, when it comes to a long-term storyline, going to long-term championships. Roman was the WWE champion for almost 4 years. That's a very long time. But it also was fitting. It also was fitting because for some of that, there was another WWE champion. For some of that, there was also a WWE champion, and it wasn't just called the World Heavyweight Championship, which there's nothing wrong with the World Heavyweight Championship right now, but from anybody who's been growing up on WWE, anybody who just knows of WWE, the WWE Championship was always the belt. It was always the belt that superstars was going to look for or want in their career, because it's the name of the company. Of course, you're going to want the WWE belt. You're the one with the WWE Championship. But as I said, when it goes to Roman and him having the belt for as long, the situation was right time, right place. Not everybody's going to be right time, right place. There has been times where I think that it would have been okay for Cody Rhodes to lose his title, but he did not, because they want to go on this same type of journey that Roman has built up with this long title reign. And I don't want the belts to be a hot potato at all. I don't want any of the titles to be like that. But at the same time, if there is nothing that I can think of this champion doing at the very moment, instead of recycling the same person but just shaking some things up, although I ain't gonna front, what Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens is doing is great. I love it. I love the fact that there's a side that 100% we was like, not me, 100% a majority of people were on their side, Cody Rhodes' side, and then there's some that's on Kevin Owens' side because you can understand where his frustration is. But then there's certain things that Cody Rhodes does to where you're kind of questioning, is Kevin Owens really right? I love this. This is something that we could have done beforehand. Well, I don't know if we could have done it beforehand, but it took too long for it to be a great thing in his storyline that would have solidified him as a person without the need to have a thing with Roman and the bloodline, because there is there is a lot of people that complain, and I have the same complaint, because Cody Rhodes needs to be just Cody Rhodes. He doesn't need to have anybody try to say I made you, or I made, or you're only popping because I was this. And to me, a lot of people that don't really like Cody Rhodes as a competitor, because I like Cody Rhodes as what he does and what he puts into the business, because you can't really deny him. He's undeniable. But there is people that be like, hey, I don't know, because with everything what happened with the We Want Cody movement, you really could not have had him lose again. And that's just period. You couldn't have him lose again. He's putting in all the work, yes, 100%, but there is still that thought where you're like, you're really only here because you was just in the right time, right place. You know, solidifying himself without the need of Roman, the one before him, the guy would have been solid, because he's a new one. He's a new one. He's the one that we're trying to put everything into for this new era. Although they're the same age, you kind of can't do that. But neither here nor there. So I would have loved it if he had something straight off the bat that didn't feel as though you were throwing things together, because I felt as if you were throwing things together with the AJ Styles thing. I am honestly going to say that. I'm going to say that, because if we were just going through all Roman Reigns competitors, you wouldn't have picked AJ Styles because AJ Styles lost to LA Knight. You should have picked LA Knight because LA Knight was the one who beat AJ Styles. He beat AJ Styles, so AJ Styles should have been at the back of the line. If we're going to be honest, he should have been at the back of the line. But to me, they were just, wasting time. I love this. I love this wrestling. I love the WWE, but it felt as if you were wasting time. And now, if we're gonna make every WWE champion have their title for a long time, then there's gonna be superstars that just don't get the chance. And I wouldn't blame Roman, because it's really not his fault for being great. There's no other way for you to say it. It's not his fault for being great and doing his job too well, but now I think it was too much of easy money. If I'm gonna, it was easy money, and now I think that somebody brought up a great point, that it's gonna be harder for people like Gunther or somebody on the same level to be able to be WWE champion when they could have had it, because it is kind of tricky. But I do think that Gunther could be the WWE champion. It should be soon, but there's not really too much things aligning for him to where I'm gonna think that in this year Gunther is gonna be WWE champion. I just don't think so. But for me, I really would love to see different people get into that chance. They don't have to be the guy, because John Cena was the guy, yet he didn't always have the WWE championship. So we really don't need to do that. We really don't need to have every poster boy being the WWE champion. I just think we got too spoiled in what Roman Reigns is doing, so we want to continue to try to replicate that and try to do that. But kind of like what Roman said when they wanted him to kind of replicate what John Cena was doing, you really can't do that, because another superstar has what they have, and that's what's going to connect the crowd, not you trying to make them into something that they're not. And to continue to try to fit a mold of John Cena or Roman Reigns, because Cody Rhodes is like a John Cena, I'm gonna be honest. So you don't need to make all your WWE. You gotta I feel as though the title WWE Championship needs to be more fluid. It doesn't need to just go to anybody though. Keep the same prestige, but not you don't have to have the main guy always being WWE champion. I mean, we're kind of seeing it now. So like, I really hope, like, I really don't want Roman Reigns to be WWE champion in this year. I do not. I'm not interested in that. He could be world heavyweight champion, but he doesn't need to have the WWE title. Cody Rhodes doesn't need to have the WWE title for the rest of the year either. I hope he loses it soon because it just makes it more it doesn't make it predictable. It's unpredictable when we don't it doesn't need to be the same predictability with it. You know, I don't think that means that Cody Rhodes got to lose all the matches he has. No. There needs to be balance, and it needs to be like a little bit of protection when it comes to him, but this whole keeping the title on one guy for a very long time, it's not working for it. It's not going to work for everybody. It's just not. And for me, I got lost in Cody's title reign because it didn't feel as though it was about him. So I'd rather him start all over again instead of the first reign. We don't talk about the first part of your reign because it felt like filler. That don't work for me. That doesn't work for me. I'm not gonna really. I can't gravitate towards this championship as a great one. It's not a terrible one, but it's not a great one. And I think he deserves a great one. So just make it fluid again. You know what I'm saying? Just give other people those opportunities. Because Gunther would be a great WWE champion. He ain't got to be the champion for long like he was an IC championship. No. I would like to see Montez Ford in that WWE championship. I would like to see a moment where we don't know how the match is going to end. We don't have to always be like, oh, he's a champion and I just can't see him losing it before this happens. This happens. Cause that's how I feel with Kevin Owens. I just feel as though, I mean, with everything that's happened, I feel as though now we gotta wait till The Rock comes back, or we have to wait for WrestleMania. There's no way he's gonna lose the belt there. Like, those are the thoughts that I don't necessarily want to have. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. Y'all let me know if y'all think Roman has a say in this, or it's all booking and it doesn't really have anything to do with it. Because I don't really think it does. It's more of a booking thing. But let me know how you guys feel. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye!